So Overwatch 2 has been out for less than 2 weeks now and still has been involved with both heavy praise and criticism. Before any of the major glitches, bugs, and criticisms, we can give the game its proper respects. This, at the end of the day, is still Overwatch, and with the addition of 3 new characters, a few new maps and game modes, and enhanced graphics and smooth flow of combat and actions, it's very welcome and deserves the credit due to the effort that went into this. Overwatch League is still going on, and a lot of us look forward to seeing how they do with the new landscape of characters and the new meta. 5v5 is a drastic change, and honestly, the way to play Overwatch 2 is now vastly different from Overwatch 1. Crowd control still matters, but since shields are no longer as viable, healing, DPS, and better strategies now need to take place to win matches, making games much more technical and yet at the same time, much faster paced. This change of pace is a breath of fresh air, and a lot of us can agree it's a beneficial one, even though 6v6 in the original game was just as fun despite its old meta. The game draws most of its downsides from a few major things: ability to play the actual game, a battle pass, and no story mode. You'll often notice a lot of your characters being locked from gameplay all of a sudden. This is due to one of two things. One, they had a glitch in the system trying to update it, and it happens whenever they do actually make an update. Or two, they are actually working on the character due to some glitches or bugs, like currently with Bastion and Torb's ults, doing more cannon shots and having a longer duration respectively. If you've taken a look at the Battle Pass, the free version is just unfairly made compared to the premium one, which we knew would happen, which again incentivizes people in a horribly negative way to pay more money for cosmetics. And truth be told, the premium Battle Pass isn't much better. When Overwatch 2 was coming out, I only got the Watchpoint pack because I thought I had to get it to play Overwatch 2. I kept saying it's a free game, but since this was $39.99, I assumed it was the actual game. Was it worth it? No. A lack of story was just the cherry on top of growing frustrations, in which the game devs had over 3 years to work on this, maybe even longer since they announced the game back in 2019, but could have been in development for way longer. Now we're going to go over some of the actual total patches and information Blizzard has put out over time. So we're going to start from the earliest one, which is obviously October 4th, because that's when the game actually came out, and then just go up the screen so that way we can see what's been going on since. So starting from the actual day it came out, they were experiencing server issues, which again, it does make sense that they might be dealing with some server issues because a bunch of people are trying to actually flock into the game and play it. But at the same time, a lot of people were being disconnected from those servers. So you're in the middle of a game trying to win, and then all of a sudden you're just kicked out. Now this becomes worse when you're in competitive, because we're not sure if that actually counts as a loss. Sure, you could potentially check your career profile and then see if it actually counts as a loss. And if that's the case and the game kicked you out, and because of the game's fault you got a loss, that's just unfortunate. So that's one of the things that I hope doesn't keep happening. Yet at the same time, Overwatch does still do updates where they're on maintenance, where they are having their servers down for a few hours. If you're in the middle of a game, you will be kicked out. 100%. You'll be disconnected, you're done. So I'd recommend not playing anywhere close to those times just to be safe. Or if you want to, do quick play or arcade. Incorrectly locked heroes and items for existing players. Now, this happens frequently. Your characters are being locked due to a glitch in the system that is 110% not your fault. I was very worried that they wouldn't actually merge correctly and I was going to lose all my data, so I'm very happy that they actually had that go through. New SMS Protect Requirements are in effect. That was a major disappointment for a lot of people. People, I think, with like Cricket weren't able to actually play the game, which was really messed up. Imagine waiting for this game, wanting to play it extremely badly, and then because of your phone provider, because it was a prepaid phone, you can't play the game. That sucks. So I know that they said they got rid of it with most, but I don't like the fact they said most and not all. They had more downtimes, which makes complete sense. Again, maintenance, this is a few days ago. This again happened, emergency maintenance, probably because of a DDoS, but at the same time, they should probably fix things like that, where, you know, maybe have more surefire ways that this doesn't happen. Again, I understand that it can happen and that you can't always prevent these things, but for it to happen twice at this point, you'd think you'd learn from the first time. And right now, the reason why Bastion's gone right now, and the same reason the Torb's gone right now, are because of their ults. They're competitive only that they can't be played. I didn't know that. I thought it was actually everything. Bugs that are affecting, yeah, it is affecting gameplay because Bastion can nuke an entire area, and Torbjorn's is more extended for the time period of his ult. So that is more justified. But at the same time, think maybe when you're actually developing things, you're going to play test them to make sure that that doesn't happen. You know, that's pretty beneficial, I'd say. And then there is one other thing that's not listed here because these are the main bugs, which was thank you, heroes. Let's talk about our next step for Overwatch 2. So this is basically their way of saying that we know we messed up. We're going to try to make it up to you. So I believe it is, yeah, so from now till October 25th, if you log in at the end of Season 1, which I don't actually know when it's going to be, you're basically getting a Reaper skin and a health pack. That's the Reaper skin. There's your health pack. Little amulet, keychain, whatever you want to call it. And they pretty much just tell you that there's new heroes and that you could check out. Oh, look at that battle pass. Of course, why not? This is their way of saying, you know, thank you for playing, you know, we're sorry, we're listening to the feedback. Now, they are listening to the feedback because they are trying to fix these problems ASAP, which is good. But the problem is that there are problems and that they need to be fixed fast and they never should have happened in the first place. So yes, it's very good that they are being fixed relatively fast and they are listening to the community, but the community's major concern is what I'm actually going to show on this next page. So again, this article just says the same exact thing where they were talking about, you know, bonus XP as compensation, give players free skins, there's the skin, and then there's the little keychain amulet. Here's the problem, and this is well put by this one person, with the XP boost. What's the point of double match XP when you get rid of account levels? That's what I've been saying. The battle pass doesn't count the same way as leveling up did. If you had a battle pass where you level up and it's a loot box, that's a different form of leveling up, which is fine. Now, where loot box is perfect, no. Could they be used? Absolutely. I was able to get most of the skins, including legendaries and epics, never putting a dime into the game. And that was because I kept grinding levels. Whenever you were in like an actual match, if you did a lot of damage, or you did a lot of shield, or if you did a lot of healing, you'd get a certain amount of fire. I loved seeing my fire go up and up and up and up and up, and eventually you'd be on fire if you had enough, but at the end of it, you had a certain amount of experience, or fire in this case, that you can get. So if you were doing really well in the match, you can get northward of 4,000 experience. You'd level up, you'd get a loot box, and then you'd get 4 items within the loot box, and then potentially it could be really good. But now, you get none of that. You now have to grind for hours and hours and hours, actually, to be honest, days on end, to get like one skin. And that's not cool. And this is perfectly encapsulated as well. Reaper skin is very nice. That's debatable, it's alright. Reaper skin is very nice, but that doesn't make up for how predatory your item shop is. No one's paying $20 for a skin. And you know what the worst part is? People are going to pay $20 for a skin. That's very, very greedy, and that's very unfortunate. So I just wanted to make a video going over the current state of Overwatch 2. I'm sure there's going to be major changes, and according to what I'm seeing on my screen right now, there is going to be another update October 13th, I believe around 3-ish Eastern time, which is going to be my time, so I'm not going to be able to play the game for about, 2 hours while they work on that? So that's no big deal. I'm not sure if the reason why they're having that maintenance is to bring Torb and Bastion back, but if it's something else, we'll see how that goes. Let me know what you guys think down below. How do you think Overwatch is so far? As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.